In this part, we're going to talk to Coach Raymond about how to handle social settings and situations as a carnivore. So, Coach Raymond, I'm a new carnivore, and one of my biggest concerns is how am I going to handle going to some kind of social function or a dinner with friends? And I just don't want to seem like a freak. So, what do I do about that?
Yeah, that's a great question. And a lot of carnivores, baby carnivores, ask me that very same thing. How do I handle it? For example, Easter's coming up. How would you handle that with the family? Everybody wants you to try these things. And so, what I usually say is go ahead and you're going to have the trigger of the social setting, which is your family, and you're going to be out of your environment. Then you're probably going to look forward to having some piece of pie. Here's my advice on all this. So knowing that you're going, first of all, there's little tricks you can do to prevent yourself from falling into these traps. What you could do is bring your own dish or eat a ribeye before you get there. Now, bringing your own dish is great because the family can, enjoy some ribeye too. So they might like that. And that might make you the favorite also. What I definitely don't want to see is, you trying to say, hey, the carnivore diet's great. Look at this, look at that, look at me doing that. I just started. Remember, you're just starting this off. You don't want to brag about it. It's one of those rules. If you're in Fight Club, don't talk about Fight Club. Don't talk about the carnivore diet in front of your family. They're not going to take it well. So what I advise is go ahead and lay out the mashed potatoes on your plate, lay out the greens, lay out that ribeye on there, act like everything's normal, and you eat the meat first. Now, play around with the mashed potato, play around with the green beans or whatever it is on your plate. Just kind of play around with it. Nobody's going to watch you eat. They think you're eating all that stuff. And then fill up on the ribeye and just push it away and say, man, I'm stuffed. Nobody's going to think anything of it. They're not going to say, oh, why didn't you finish your plate? You're just going to be like, man, I ate too much. I can't have any more. Most people are going to say that anyways. And some of them will approach you and say, hey, you want some dessert? Probably grandma or, your mom or whatever, would say, have some dessert. At that point you could use the excuse that, hey, I'm trying this new thing and trying to stay away from sugar. Everybody understands that, so they're like, oh, okay, no big deal. So you can wave that off real quick. Or there's nothing wrong with taking a few bites and trying it out, because sometimes it is an insult for not trying people's food. So taste it. It's not going to take knock you off your carnivore path. It's not going to change anything as far as you adapting. Don't worry about that. It's not going to sink you into an addiction where you just can't stop eating either. So don't over exaggerate it. Just take it as it is. Take a couple of spoons and just say, oh, I'm good. But remember, eat the meat first, and then don't fall into that trap.
Ah, that's really good. Those are really good tips. So what about if I'm going to go on a date and then it's just that person and they see me like, like I get a dish and it has a couple sides and then they just see me eating the meat. What do I do then?
Again, your date will not notice because you get the sides just like her. Ask for the sides, and you eat your steak first, and really just leave it aside. They won't even question you. I've been on dates where women would have most of their plates, and they're like, don't eat near anything of it. Most of the time, you won't get questioned for that. So it's interesting. They'll not say, "Oh, did you not eat any vegetables?" And really and honestly, if you notice them looking really harsh, just kind of poke at a little bit and put it in your mouth. It's fine. Again, it's not gonna kill you. So it all depends on whether you want to impress that person. I really think socialization is a little bit more important than the rigidness of carnivore diet. The other thing I want to stress is that we don't want to develop a eating disorder from this. We do try to cure eating disorder. We want to say that eating anything else is not good for you. We do stress that. But the thing we want to say is that we don't we don't prevent ourselves or prohibit ourselves from eating anything. It is our choice. The thing is we should be picky eaters. We don't want any of that stuff. So we change that frame of mind. It will help us in the future.
Wow, this has been so helpful. Thank you, Coach Raymond. We'll see you on the next bite.
Thank you, Janice.